I love this whole story. God appears to Jonah and says, I want you to go to Nineveh. And Jonah says, I'm not going to Nineveh. So he runs from God, which is really smart. So he gets on this boat, and they set sail, and this great storm comes up. And everybody on the boat's thinking they're going to die. And Jonah goes, hey, I bet if y'all throw me in the water, the storm will quit. Maybe not the sharpest knife in the drawer, so that ought to encourage everybody in here that God can use any of us. Sure enough, they threw him in the water, the storm stopped, and then a fish came and swallowed him whole, and 3 days later vomited him out on the shore of Nineveh. How many of you know God will get you where he wants you to go? You can either ride the boat or the fish, but you're going to get where he wants you to go. And so we pick it up in chapter 3. It says, now the word of the Lord came to Jonah the second time, saying, arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and preach to it the message that I tell you. So Jonah arose and went to Nineveh according to the word of the Lord. How many of you know you learned that lesson quickly? And then Nineveh was an exceeding great city, a 3-day journey in extent. And in fact, I looked it up. It is exactly the same size as Las Vegas. And it had a wall around it. And so as Jonah surveyed the city, he walked on that wall. And I mean, I'm telling you, it's not like he went to Fayetteville, and stood there at the blinking light till somebody noticed it. He shows up completely bleached out, white, smelling of fish guts. He walks into this city as big as Las Vegas, and he says, 40 days from now, Nineveh shall be overthrown. Nineveh's going to be destroyed. He delivered the word of the Lord. Okay. And what happened? They repented. That whole city said, well, then we need to change our ways. And 140,000, 500,000 people, I think it is, I'm thinking of Hustle, 500,000 people repented and turned their heart to the Lord. And it said, but this displeased Jonah exceedingly, and he became angry. Why? Because it made him look bad. It made him look bad. It made a fool out of him. Think of all the trouble he has endured to just do what God told him. He walks up, delivers this message, straight on the courage to face all of their ridicule, and he gives this message, and instead of God following through with it, he doesn't. I was in the gym yesterday. You know why? Because that's what healed people do. Okay? And as I was leaving, I walked past a couple of people standing there. And I felt this wave of sadness. And I went on and got in the car and I sat there. And it's like the Lord wouldn't leave me alone about it. I said, okay, hang on. Is this me or you? I'm already in the car. I circled twice. Finally, somebody came up, couldn't get in the door. I said, I guess that's my cue to go slap them in. I walked in. I still went to the water fountain. Because it was a girl and her mother. And so finally I walked up and I introduced myself and I said, you gonna think, I don't know what you're going to think, but I'm the pastor here, and blah, blah, blah. She looked at me like I had lobsters crawling out of my ear. Nothing I had to say really rung a bell with them. And I'm walking out of there so dadgum mad. I'm thinking, well, way to go. I guess I just got the Holy Spirit said, who are you mad at? I said, I guess I'm mad at myself, which he knew I was lying. I was mad at him. And you know what he said? He said, you're not in control. You do what I tell you to do. He said, that's your problem. You've always got to see some sort of result. You don't know what I'm doing in the life of that woman. And I'm just telling you, for us to go to this next level, you got to quit looking to see if it's working. Come on. You got to quit timing it and cataloging it and measuring stuff. You got to believe that you believe that you believe. You got to know something, whether there's any evidence to support it. That's how you're going to walk into the next realm. Okay. See, because here's our biggest enemies, is these Christian videos, and we go to these conferences, and we go to these different things, and the next thing you know, we're measuring ourselves by the highlight reel of another. Okay. We watched that Father of Lights at Kent, and Todd White, he goes up and he lays hands on people and they get healed. I saw him lay hands on 3 people. I bet he laid hands on 40 people that day. We didn't see what happened to them because maybe nothing happened and it wasn't worthy of the film. Yeah. And I'm just here to tell you that the life that I know to be the Christian life is more not sin than sin. And if you don't get used to that and quit getting all down in the mouth and bogged down about results and not be obedient to do what you're here to do, then you're going to keep circling the mountain until you figure it out. It's not by sight. I don't walk by sight. I walk by faith. Next page. Lesson number 1. To obey is better than to sacrifice. See, you are looking at the sacrifice of being a minister. Being looked upon as and ridiculed and certain, like in other words, every time I get the idea to pray for somebody, I'm thinking, but what if it doesn't work? It's going to make God look bad. That is not my job. My job, I'm not here to keep God's reputation up. I'm here to be obedient. I'm UPS and FedEx. I deliver the product. I love UPS. They put it on my front porch and bang on the door and leave. They don't even wait around and see if I got it. Amen? I don't want them standing there looking through the door. Drop it off and leave. I'll take care of it from here. Your job is to drop it off and leave. And if you believe in the product, it ain't even about the messenger. It's about the product you're delivering. Amen. Luke chapter 15. Sherry told us a great story at camp and again at church about the prodigal son. When the prodigal son came home, it said that the older brother was angry and would not even go into the party. His father came out and pleaded with him and said to his father, "Lo, these many years I've been what? Serving you." Are you serving God? Are you a servant? Or are you a friend? There's a level up from where you're at. Okay. See, it's not because you have to or the job needs to do it. Like Martha said, I do this because I love you. I can't wait to do it. I don't even expect anything in return. But the elder brother, his relationship with the father is, I'm going to do my duty. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to see how little I can get by with and still get my inheritance one day.
That's right.
I never transgressed your commandment except right now. And yet you never gave me a young goat that I might make merry with my friends. But as soon as this son of yours, then he called him his brother. Okay. Let me ask you a question. If somebody had erected monuments to ISIS beheading Christians that were our great ancestors, none of them even belonged to, but they stuck them out on the public, in the park, would it offend you? See, we're looking at this thing because it's a black and a white thing. But you need to understand, you know what? It's a monument. It's looking at the past if it's anything. And you know what? I'm just saying, if we can promote love and go on, let's go on. All this is going to burn up anyway. Right? Does that make sense to anybody? See, if it was really close to our heart and we were offended, then it'd be a different deal. But as soon as this son of yours came home and who has devoured your livelihood with harlots, you killed the fatted calf. And what if he had devoured his livelihood buying real estate? Well, what does he care? His inheritance was given to him at the same time it was given to the Lord. Nothing he ever was owed or promised was taken from him. But because he had his eyes on somebody who was getting away with not having to work, not having to serve, not having to give up drinking, you know what I mean? Look at whatever. That we're in here doing our thing and there are people getting away with murder. And they're going to go to my heaven? Right. Oh, we got trouble, man. Come on. Right. And he said to him, son, you are always with me and all that I have is yours. Always has been. You've never asked me. You're mad because he asked for you did. Next page. See, in Exodus chapter 15 is one of my favorite stories. Israel's in the wilderness. They're running from Egypt. And they get across the Red Sea. The Red Sea was parted. The water was pushed up. The Bible says in the Hebrew, like you piled up a rug. It was piled up on each side of it. They walked over on dry ground. They didn't get mud on their shoes. And they walked through this water. And they get on the other side of the Red Sea, which is huge. It's a sea, not a pond or a creek. Okay. You know what a sea is? You can't see land on the other side. Wow. They walked all the way over there. When they got to the other side, the Egyptians came to pursue. The water collapsed on them. And Buddy Miriam picked up her tambourine. And she started singing a song. And everybody joined in and sang that song. It was like Andy and the Darlings just having a time. And in that song that they made up on the spot, must have been from Bethel, there were no fewer than 13 references to God's incredible ability to move water around. The horse and rider thrown into the sea, God has opened up the sea, see the water, water, sea, water, 13 times. Okay? And then they turned. Moses brought them from the Red Sea and went to the wilderness of Shur, and they went 3 whole days. And they started complaining because they were thirsty. This God that they had just sung about with 13 references of how you can do whatever you want with water, but we can't see that on this side. Yeah. We're 3 whole days away from a miracle, and we're fussing because we're a little thirsty. Okay. What shall we drink? We just need to go back. We just need to go back to Egypt. Mm-hmm. We had water there. Mm-hmm. When we got done making bricks and we could drain off the stuff in the tub, we had water. I think we're missing it there a little bit, right? Right. Next page. See, lesson number 2. To have mercy is better than sacrifice. To have mercy. What if somebody's breaking the rules? If you're clued into God, you don't care about the rules. This is a rescue operation. We're searching to find people who are dying and going to burn in hell forever. I watched again some pictures from 9/11. I just popped on my feed, and I was looking, and there were people jumping out of those buildings. And I said, how could you do that? He said, go put your hand on the hot stove, see how long you can stand it. Right. It's like Pastor Judy said so many times, people don't go to hell for an afternoon. I don't care how bad they were or what they did on this earth. Hell is forever, and we're on a rescue operation. And you know what? I'm so thankful nobody keeps a record of my sin. Nobody's written down my requirements. Because I got news for you. I wouldn't have got in either. Come on now. Just because somebody's sin exceeds mine doesn't mean I have the right to look down on them. In other words, God would rather have you love somebody than doing your duty as a Christian. Come on now. Now watch this. Exodus chapter 3. And so he said, I came down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians. This is Moses being given a commission. With me? He says, he's telling Moses, he says, I'm going to send you to the Egyptians to bring them up from that land to a good and large land, a land that flows with milk and honey. Right? Not a single one of those people made it. Joshua Cain, that's it. That entire generation that got that promise, that got that word from Moses, not a single one of them saw it come to fruition. Why? Is God lying? Is Moses a false prophet? No, because let me tell you something. Your job is to deliver the word. Your job is to love them in any condition and let God do what he has to do. You cannot control what the other people do with what's given. I was sitting in a pro football game. I got invited to go up to the Titans in Washington several years ago. In the Titans Stadium, and I was sitting there, and half the stadium was Titans and half was Washington Redskins, and I didn't really care. I love those games. I don't even have to get all tense about it. And I was sitting there, and the thought crossed my mind, Lord, what if everybody that's wearing one jersey, the other's praying for their team to win? What do you do with that? They are. What do you do with that? Well, I don't know. That's why my 3-pound brain is not trying to run the universe, and you shouldn't try to run it with yours. Come on. That ain't in your class yet to figure on that. You're the delivery man. You're the delivery man. My job is to deliver the word. My job is to pray. In Hebrews chapter 4, we'll get an answer. He was talking about that very encounter, and he said, therefore, since a promise remains of entering his rest, let us fear, lest any of us should come short of it. For indeed the gospel was preached to us as well as to them, but the word which they heard did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in those that heard it. I can't determine what you're going to do with it, but if I bring that woman in the gym, you know what? I don't know what that's going to mean to her, but I'm praying that God's going to wake her up with that and never let her forget my face. And that God would go out of his way to say something to her. She sat there and looked at me and cocked her head back and forth. I thought she was a Barbie doll and had broken a spring. If you're watching, you're really attractive and a nice person. But I'm just saying that what I wanted her to do is go, hallelujah! Fall on her knees and float and levitate, and angels come and all that, you know. But it didn't work. Didn't happen like that. Well, did it or didn't it? See, here's my point. If you're going to carry this stuff, you have to believe in the authenticity and the power of that word. Yeah. Whether you see it manifest or not, if I lay hands on the sick, my confession is they're healed. Yes. I don't see it. I don't care. I know in whom I have believed. I'm delivered. I'm not getting cocky about I'm the healer, but I'm just trying to tell you that I know what I'm bringing to you. Right. I know that it's authentic. I know that it's good. I know that it has no respect of person. I know when I pray and I say and I obey and do what God tells me to do, it's going to work somehow or another. Now, whether you get it or not depends on whether that you got your station tuned into the Word of God or not. That's right. But I've done my job and I can be happy today. Next page. Acts chapter 6. Y'all got time for this? Yeah. You're going to get it either way. I just asked that as kind of a, I've never quit. Have you ever noticed? If nobody answers yes, I still keep going. Keep that in the back of your mind. Therefore, brethren, seek out from among you 7 men of good reputation, full of the Holy Spirit and wisdom. How do they know? By the fruit they bear. That's the only way we can know. The only way I can figure out who you are is what you're displaying. But let me tell you, nobody knows anybody. That's right. You know what? It's not my job to know. It's that place where God can let love cover the multitude of mistakes we've made in our life. Come on, man. Yeah. And so they said, this is the first 7 deacons ever chosen. First. Yep. You think these would be the ones you want to model them all by, right? Okay. Stephen, woo! Philip, Prochorus. I think he turned into a foot pedal, didn't he? Tim? Guitarists will get that. Nicanor, Timon, Parmenas, and Nicholas, a proselyte from Antioch. This is one of the 7 people chosen that was good reputation, full of the Holy Spirit and wisdom. But in the book of Revelation, Holy Spirit is speaking. He said, thus you also hold the doctrine of the Nicolaitans, which thing I hate. And the Nicolaitans came from Nicholas. How can people select somebody to represent God that had a good reputation and full of the Holy Ghost and wisdom and him turn? Because everybody has a choice. Okay. And I want to tell you something. I've picked people and given them a chance that nobody should have given a chance. Because that's what somebody did for me one day. Right. And they've gone bad on me, but there's been some that didn't go bad. And they went on into greatness. And I'm just telling you, I'd rather run the risk and believing in you and try to cover my butt and not make a bad choice. Yeah. Okay. Next page. Lesson number 3. If you never risk it sitting on your biscuit, you'll never do anything. Lord, I want you to use me. Well, then you know what? You're going to get ready to look ridiculous. King David went to get the Ark of the Covenant. And Obed-Edom, it had been there for some say 20, some say 40 years. And you think that's nothing to us, but the presence of God was gone from Israel for 40 years. And David had grown up as a child, sitting out there talking to God. And as a king, sitting under it said that he was sitting under the shadow of the wings of God. Psalm 91 said, about in the shadow. He was sitting under the cherubim wings of the Ark of the Covenant. And it was gone. And he had a chance to go back and get it back. And he said, just to make sure they didn't offend God. Because Uzzah, they built their new cart and tried to bring it back. And Uzzah tried to touch it and he dropped dead. So they brought the priest and they did it right. And they said they went 6 paces. And sat down and made sacrifices. Between Obed-Edom and Jerusalem, they probably slaughtered 6,000 animals. Can you imagine? I played one mud volleyball tournament in high school. And at first, right, they're going. But then one person dives for one. Well, it's over now. You got a mud face and everybody's diving. I got a mud face. I'm telling you, you couldn't even find where my eyes were. We were covered in mud. And I'm thinking, that was one. Can you imagine marching through 6,000 animals, blood, mud, and guts on the way? How messed up they were. But they were, you know good well the closer they got, they had to be little bit happy about it? How can you get that close to the presence of God and hadn't felt it in 40 years and not develop another step, a little bounce in your step? They came marching into town, and David was dancing so hard, he danced his clothes off. And his wife stood up there and disdained him because he had lost his dignity. Why wasn't the king undignified today? And he said, I'll be more undignified than this. So you got two examples.
Come on.
You got the pristine and proper and good-looking, well-groomed, waxed eyebrowed one.
Okay.
I'm over that so bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let them grow, kids. And then you got David covered in blood and mud and guts with no clothes on. This one was barren for the rest of her life. I would say to you, if things have dried up in any area of your life, physical, mental, spiritual, you've become too dignified and too full of your own opinion of yourself. Because there's only three possibilities that occur when you try to help somebody. It's either God, it's either you, or the devil. Why would the devil want to help anybody? Why would the devil want to encourage you? Why would he ever want to do anything that would promote the cause of Christ? So I can pretty much cancel him out. So it's either me or God. And if I'm doing what God would do, then you know what? How can I separate the two? And so I want you to be encouraged that if you ever have an opportunity to go say something nice, to say, the Lord want me to tell you look good today, and walk on. What have you hurt?
Right.
But Lord, what you might have gained. What if that person would never admit it? We've had so many opportunities where we've ministered to people and they denied it first, but then they'd admit it. You don't know. You don't know what they're hiding. You don't know what they're going to be doing. But I'm just saying, get ready. Get your gun cocked and ready to fire. Go out there looking, because I'm telling you, we are the fountain that is flowing under the throne room of God. And wherever the river goes, whatever it touches will live. Right. But if we're not touching anybody.
Yes, you're right. No, that's right.
Nobody's living, including us.
Come on. You're right.
1 Corinthians 13, 8 through 10 says, the first thing you need to remember is love never fails. Think about that. I miss God. No, you didn't. You did not miss God. Quit saying I miss God unless you miss Him. And since He never leave you or forsake you, that's not true either. Okay. I miss God. No, you didn't. Just believe in yourself and put it out there. Believe in the Word, not in your ability to articulate it or interpret it. Okay. But whether they're prophecies, they'll fail. Where there are tongues, they'll cease. Where there's knowledge, it'll vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. I can't tell you the number of times that I have stood up in front of strangers and I've called them forward and I've read their mail. Yeah. And what I thought I was saying to them wasn't anywhere close to what they were receiving. Right. They thought I was Elijah. And I'm thinking, that ain't what I said at all. That ain't what was in my heart at all. But see, it isn't what I had to say. It's what they had to hear. Yeah. What if I didn't call them forward? They didn't get that. How many times, see, God takes our mess and turns it into a blessing. Glory to God. He takes our humble efforts and turns it into glory. Yeah. But if we don't give Him anything, there's nothing to use. But when that is perfect, it's coming. Yeah, when the Bible got here, honey, the Bible ain't perfect. I'm sorry. If it were perfect, we wouldn't be fussing about it all the time. It'd be something we'd all agree on, and it's not, because it's not perfect. That's not the perfect thing that was coming. The perfect thing is Jesus when He comes back. Ah. Don't you never go, ah. Don't breathe on us. It's been kind of a long service. I need a tic-tac. Next page. Romans chapter 8, and my nose has probably got a stitch on a pillow. But it says this, that we know that all things work together. All things aren't good. All things aren't good, but all things work together. If it's not good now, it's going to be good. God gives His promise. Yes. So quit calling it bad. Call it good. Come on, man. Oh, God. Here we go. I wasn't going to do this. Lesson number 4. If your motive is to love, you cannot fail. See, Aaron there was getting the 12 days of Christmas literally given to her. And so there's like 20-something birds that were clawing her eyes out. But Andy was really trying to love her. This wasn't working out so good for him. It was a Secret Santa deal. I guess you have to see it. I got one more. 1 Corinthians 3. Here's the other part of this. I'm sorry that every time you step up to the plate, you're not going to hit the game-winning home run, the walk-off. You may be bunting the guy to second. Your job may be to set up the next guy. But if you don't do your job, it bumps back one more generation, and they're still waiting for the guy to do the setup. Because we all want that guy that's just almost full and starts gushing out when we talk to him. But you know what? That may be dry as a bone, and your one drop starts the process. And your one little ministry, your one little time of witnessing, your one little share, one little time of being nice, encouraging, starts the ball flowing, rolling, and the water flowing. I planted upon water, but God gave the increase. Then neither he who plants is anything, nor he who waters, but God who gives the increase. Say it with me, God gives the increase. Say it again, God gives the increase. What's my job? My job is to plant. My job is to water. Say it with me, my job is to deliver. Say it with me, my job is to deliver. And finally he said in Galatians 6, let us not grow weary. Why did he say that? Because you can. You can get discouraged. You get off on your little thing over there, feeling sorry for yourself. The devil keeps feeding you all the stuff that's wrong with him, why you don't measure up, and you start agreeing with him and all that. Why do you got a due season? Everybody say due season. We shall reap if we do not lose heart. Now I'll tell you something. I'm going to do something here because I did this a long time ago, and I'm going to see if I can do it again. And I'm believing God that I can. Woo! Okay, halfway there. When Rocky came out, we were all running around with towels around our necks. We were on our push-ups. I didn't even practice that. I probably should have. Anyway. But I'm going to keep doing it. Why? Because that's what healed people do. Every time I get together now with my folks that are my age, we lead in with what's wrong with you. What's hurting? Come on, man. I'm not ready for that. Are you ready for that? No. I'm ready to be the healed person that can deliver healing. Next page, almost done. In Matthew 10, 7, 8, he said, as you go, preach. What does that mean? It means tell somebody. Okay. Tell somebody. Be quick to give an answer to the hope that is in you. You got to have something to deliver. You got to have something that looks coming out of your eyes that they want to get from you. Right. What do I preach? Here you go. I'll tell you. Tell them the kingdom of heaven is at hand. What does that mean? I don't know. Just say it. All right. Try it. Yes. Jesus has saved my soul. What does that mean? The kingdom of heaven is at hand. What's wrong with you? Heal the sick. Notice it didn't say pray to Jesus to heal the sick. Right. That's right. Cleanse the leper. It didn't say pray and ask Jesus to cleanse the leper. It said raise the dead. It didn't say pray and ask Jesus to raise the dead. Cast out demons. It didn't say pray and ask Jesus to cast out demons. Whose job? My job. Come on. Who's going to own up to this? Well, I'm not perfect. Neither am I. Line form's here. Get in line. Let's go. Right. We'll figure all that when we get home. Right. See, my job is to deliver. I am not responsible for the results. My confession is that the promise is made available the moment we pray. When I say amen, we are done. Amen. Thank you. Lesson number 5. Never, ever, ever give up. Never, ever, ever give up. Jim confessed to Michael, of all people, that he was in love with Pam. Michael was at the time handcuffed to the boat for causing people to jump off the boat accidentally. Yet Michael sowed that word in him that kept him going. That's a TV show, I get it. But you know what? He's handcuffed. What right does he have to help anybody? But yet it was his word at that moment. Yeah. You may not have all your ducks in a row. Maybe your life someone has too. You can still tell somebody that Jesus loves them and what he's done in your life. Right. What that cost? Nothing. Nothing. Unless you're so worried about what everybody thinks about you. Right. I got news for you. Nobody's thinking about you. Right. People don't walk in and go, ooh, I wonder what Miss Kathy's going to do. I love Miss Kathy, but they're not thinking of Miss Kathy. They're thinking about, you know what, I think I chipped my tooth. Don't look fat in this. Guys, if a woman ever asks you that, just fake a seizure. It's the best thing I've ever done. All right. We're going to say our face, and we're going to take communion first.
Just
What-
say no.
Just say